Let's see how far we can zoom this in. Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Today we will check out the Reolink RLC-823A 16X. This is a specialized camera because of its 16x zoom, which you have to see how far it can zoom in. That I actually have some concerns on how people will use it. It has the 823 name, but is missing some features that the regular 823A have, and I'll tell you more here in a bit. Thank you Reolink for sending me this camera to be reviewed. Also, I will link down below my review of the RLC-823A, and you can check it out after you watch this video. Let's dive in on its features and the specs. This is a wired pan and tilt IP PoE NVR camera that records in 4K quality, 3840 by 2160 pixel resolution at 25 frames per second. It has a 16x optical zoom, which means it can zoom in without degradation of video quality compared to a digital zoom. And the field of view at its widest is 54.2 degree horizontal and 41.7 degree vertical field of view. Zoomed all the way in, its field of view is 3.6 degree horizontal and 2.1 degree vertical field of view. This camera can pan 360 degrees and tilt 90 degrees. Now, one feature that is missing that a regular 823A has is the motion tracking. This camera doesn't have it. I wish it has. But don't discount it yet because it still has the preset positions and patrol mode. And remember, it has 16x optical zoom, and this will be the main reason why you would buy one. If you have a specific area that you want to monitor that is farther away from where the camera is. Also, this doesn't have any spotlight, so no color night vision, except if you have some other lighting at your house. And you will see this later on. The rest of the features are like other Reolink cameras like AI detection, person, vehicle, and pet detection, two-way audio, and siren. It records to a microSD card up to a 256GB card and or to Reolink's NVR or to an FTP server, and can record motion events or set to record 24/7. This is an IP camera, so it needs to be wired into your network, like using a PoE switch to power up the camera and send and receive data just using one Ethernet cable, or directly connect to your router or network switch, as long as you power up the camera separately, 12 volts 2 amps, or hook this up to the back of your Reolink NVR. And this is weather resistant, no stated IP rating, but with an operating temperature of 14 degrees to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside the box, we have some paperwork, waterproof lid installation guide, window sticker, and a quick start guide. We have a short Ethernet cable, waterproof Ethernet lid. We have a power adapter if you're not using a PoE switch or the NVR, and this is 12 volts 2 amps. And we have a mounting template, mounting screws and plastic anchors, short machine screw, a plastic push tool, and a cable with a carabiner on it. The mount is separate and it is all metal. And we have the camera itself, all metal. We have the lens, we have infrared LEDs on the sides and the bottom, and a light sensor. We have a speaker on this side and a mic on the other side. And if you tilt the camera down, there is a screwed-in cover for the microSD card slot. As to connections, we have the optional 12-volt power port, we have a reset switch, and an Ethernet port. Time to install this, which there are several ways to do this, but first I'll put in a microSD card. The mount and camera are separate, and you can install the mount first, then the camera. But what I'll do is to assemble the camera and the mount first, then I'll install it. So I'll push the cables in to go to the back of the mount, and push in the camera to the mount, and tighten the 3 screws to secure it in place. I'll screw in the top 2 screws using the template as a guide. Plug in the Ethernet cable to the camera, and I'll set this up using my PoE switch, then hang the camera to the wall. And for this type of install, I do need to use an angled driver attachment to screw in the lower 2 screws. At this time, this camera can only be installed in a vertical or wall install. Now, if you have your phone connected to your home network and you have toggled to on add devices automatically in the Reolink app, the camera should automatically show up on the camera's list in the bottom. Click on it to finish setting it up. Type in a device password, name your camera, and it should be installed. Let's check some settings in the app. When you open up the app, you will see a snapshot thumbnail from the camera. Click on it to get to live view, which loads up pretty quick. In here, you can pause the live view, listen in, take a snapshot, or record the live view. And you can change the viewing resolution, and you can manually trigger the siren. On the bottom, you can start two-way talk, which is full duplex. And we have the pan and tilt zoom controls. You'll have this joystick to manually move the camera. you can adjust the speed of the movement. Also, you can zoom in up to 16x, and this will automatically focus, but you have an option also to do it manually. We have auto, which the camera will pan around and around. By the way, this camera is true 360-degree panning. There is no end point. Next, you can set the monitor or your home point, and you can set the time how soon it will go back to the monitor point. Then we have preset positions where you can set specific areas, zoomed in or out, so that you can just tap and the camera will automatically go to that position. You can set up to 64 preset positions, and that is more than enough. Just like when I click my palm tree position, it will zoom into that. And you can even do a pinch out digital zoom if you want. Then go back quickly to my shed position. Or to my patio. And back to my side yard. Now you can do this automatically using the patrol mode. And in here you can add the preset positions that you want for the camera to move to. And you can add up to 16 preset positions. And it does take its time to move to that position, and I don't think you can adjust the speed. And it stays in one position for a couple of seconds. Playback is where you can view the recorded events, and you can sort it out to just view the person, vehicles, or pet recordings. And I'll just show in the settings, they're the same like other Reolink cameras. Like in detection, you can set the sensitivity of person, vehicles, and pets separately. Well, time to do some testing.
So this is the video and audio quality of the Reolink RLC-823A 16X. And video clarity test at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Running that test.
Alright, I know you want to see how far this camera can zoom. So if you want to see a close-up of this palm tree, let's zoom in. I do have to blur some stuff out for privacy, and as you can see, it zooms in pretty good. Also, you can see that there is a little bird in the line. How cool is that? I did use a rangefinder to see how far this palm tree is, and it is out there at 120 yards. How about at night?
So this is the video quality of the Reolink 823A 16X at night, and it has 3 infrared LEDs, and this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
How about zooming in at the palm tree at night? This camera has no spotlights, but if you have some lighting in the area it is monitoring, then it will go to full color.
So this is the video and audio quality of the Reolink RLC-823A 16X, and this is with my lights. There's lights in my backyard. This is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Now how about zooming in at the palm tree again? We are going to test the motion alert notification speed of the Reolink RLC-823A 16X. And I'm on my LTE connection and it is 948. So let's check it out. There you go, that quick. And when you press and hold, there will be no rich notifications. But when you click on it, it should open up the live view and it loads up pretty quick. So it's 9:48. So it's 9:49. It's still less than a minute. The notification interval, you can set it. The most frequent is every 20 seconds, and that's what I set it for, and it should notify me again. Just like that. Cool. We are going to test the detection distance of the Reolink 823A 16X, and I know it can detect farther than this, but in my backyard it's just 50 feet, but I've set it to the widest field of view, and the person detection is the highest sensitivity. Let's check it out. 50 feet line. Oh yeah, see, it can detect me pretty quick. Right there.
This is the audio quality coming out from the Reolink RLC-823A 16X. This is the audio quality coming out from the Reolink RLC-823A 16X.
So this is the motor noise from the camera when it pans. And when it tilts. So what do you think? This camera has pretty good video and audio quality. Pretty reliable in detection, but that zoom is just crazy. Personally, this camera is an overkill for my house, and probably most of you don't need this. But if you live in an acreage property or in a ranch or have a business, this can be a very good and affordable option. It doesn't have motion tracking, but the preset positions and patrol mode kind of makes up for it. The panning and tilting still make some noise, just like the 823A, and there's some softness or focusing issue that I noticed, which really depends on the lighting and position of the camera. And this is apparent on some of my testing in both infrared night vision mode and also in daytime. That I have to move the camera a bit so as to readjust its focus. And this is most likely can be improved by a firmware update. What I can tell you though is just like in Spider-Man, with 16x zoom in power comes great responsibility. And you know what I'm talking about. Just use this for security and not invade someone else's privacy. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.